Welcome back. Today we're going to tie Craig Matthews' X-Caddis. Very quick pattern, very effective pattern. Originally designed to imitate a dead or emergent caddis or a cripple, whatever it may be. It sits down in the surface film a little bit more as opposed to your traditional elk hair caddis, which has the hackle wraps and everything on it. Those hackle wraps lift it up off the surface film a little bit, and then when you treat it, whatever it may be, you'll get a little bit more of a high rise. This is more designed to be in the surface film. I'm going to tie this in olive today, and we're going to do a little run of dry flies, mainly because all my big stuff's packed up. I haven't tied dry flies on film for a while, so it's a good opportunity to do that, and we can also highlight some of the differences in the short find from the video that I talked about a little bit more as far as an application standpoint goes. So without much further talking to introduce this one, and because it's already getting obscenely hot, I'm going to get time on this X-Caddis. I tried filming last night and it's been about 100 degrees here. And this shop got so warm, I damn near had a heat stroke. It was so miserable in here, so I had to shut it down. Got up early this morning and decided to do some filming. So what I'm going to take on this right here is, it's similar to a Z-Lon. It's not quite Z-Lon, it's an off-brand or an offshoot of it. So I don't have the exact color of Z-Lon that I wanted, so I'm just going to use what I have right here. It's going to give you the same effect, but just know that the original did have the Z-Lon in it for the trailing Shuck. So right there, I'm just going to set that in place, get one little wrap around that onto the hook, and then I'm going to take this right up to the front of my hook there. I'm going to leave a little bit right in front of the eye, maybe 1/8 of an inch to set my deer hair down on. And then I want to trim this. I want to cut that down to size just slightly, that little bit of Z-Lon that I have there. So I'm not going to cut it with the scissors. What I'm going to do is open the scissors up and just push it right through there. That way it's not a blunt square cut, and it just kind of has some unevenness to it. You can see right there it's a little bit long in a couple of spots, but it's got some unevenness to it. It just looks more natural than a nice square cut in the back. Next we're going to go into the dubbing, and for the dubbing on this, like I said, it's going to be an olive, so just you'll see how little dubbing that I use on this, and that's by design. You don't want a taper to this. You want your dubbing and your body very consistent throughout the entirety of the fly. You don't want big chunks of dubbing and all sorts of just bumps and everything through there. Nice consistent wraps, consistent, no, it's not even a taper, just consistency through the body. There we go. One there that I didn't like too much. There we go, everything looks good there. This is on a Daiichi 1110. This is a size 16. And I'm going to try to find some short find that I really like here. This looks good. Maybe not. Maybe not. What other ones was I using? Maybe I'll try this one. I'm going to take a little bit extra gonna wind up dropping a little bit as I go on this one. Like I was saying in the video previously, when I was talking about the different hair, this stuff is on the smaller end of the short fine. Like this is right around a 1/2 inch. That was a good stack right there and I lost it. This stuff is better suited for your 14s and below. And surprisingly, I was able to keep that. Your 14s and below is what this is best for. Anything bigger than that, and you're going to want something a little bit longer. So I'm just going to measure that out. It's going back to my tail. And then I'm going to transfer hands. I'm going to cut that off square and set that right behind my eye. Then I'm going to spin my thread to the right. Yep. One wrap, 2 wraps, and then 3rd. There you go. Right there you have that nice hair wing. The underneath side is nice and clean. And then I want to go just in front of that. Get a couple of nice secure wraps. And then I'm going to take my whip finisher here, because there's no way that my fat fingers are going to allow me to whip finish that by hand. So I'm going to get a couple of turn wrap on there, clear that up, and then go ahead and trim that off. There we go. You got the nice hair wing. There's a couple floating around there that I don't really like. There we go. Then you have that nice clean head right there. The trailing shuck, and like I said, this thing's going to sit below the surface film. Very quick pattern to tie, very easy pattern to tie. This one can fill a box up in no time. But it is also very effective, especially when you have a really thick caddis hatch coming off. A lot of times, if you see that there's a bunch of activity on top of the water, but the fish don't really seem to be quite surfacing as they should, or maybe it seems that you're seeing more activity right below the surface, this is a great pattern to go to. Also a great pattern to run in tandem. So if you want to run like whatever your favorite dry fly caddis imitation is, whether it's an elk hair or any of the hundreds of variations that are out there, trail this behind it, and then you get you're hitting 2 different stratas in the water column, and it's a great combination to run with. That should wrap it up for this one. I didn't get to talk too much about the hair on this one. I'll get to that one a little bit more in the videos that follow. But that's the first in the series of the hair wing stuff that we're going to be doing over the next couple videos. I may throw a CDC or 1 or 2 in there as well, but we'll see what we wind up getting into. But that's it for the X-Caddis. If you guys have questions or comments, leave them with me. I'll get back to you, but thanks as always for watching, and we'll catch you on the next fly.